Hello. Imagine that you can control lights, sockets and other devices without getting out of bed, without drilling a single wall, and at the same time you have just one neat button on the wall or even on the nightstand. Sounds like magic? Well, no, this is a smart Zigbee button from Tuya, and today I am reviewing it. I have a 2-button version in my hands, but the trick is that each key supports 3 scenarios: single click, double and long press. That is, even the most compact model can control 6 different actions. And there are also options with 1, 2, 3, and even 4 keys, so everyone can choose the one for themselves. We will connect this stage button to Tuya Smart and check what can be done with it, what devices are available for binding, how to use it in automations, and in general, what it is capable of. And then, we will look into Home Assistant. First, let's see how it works via regular Tuya integration, and then compare it with Zigbee 2 MQTT-C, which has more options. A small spoiler: the device is completely autonomous, runs on a battery, without unnecessary wires, simple, convenient and flexible. Characteristics: works via the Zigbee 3.0 protocol, requires a Tuya gateway. Versions with 1/2/3/4 buttons are available. 3 types of clicks on each button: single, double, long. Autonomous power supply, 1 CR2032 battery included. Can be glued to the wall or simply placed on the table. Compact size and modern minimalist design. Support for scenarios and automation in Tuya Smart Life. Comes in a compact cardboard box. On the front side, a model with 4 buttons is depicted. Apparently, this is a universal option for all versions. And on the back, the main parameters are indicated: the number of buttons and the protocol used. In my case, 2 buttons and Zigbee. Inside, there is a neat instruction manual. It describes in detail how to add the device to the application, how to install batteries and what are the features of the operation. Next, in a separate bag is the switch button itself. And next to it are 2 strips of double-sided tape so that you can attach it anywhere. As I said at the beginning of the video, the installation is elementary. Stick it on the wall, put it on a nightstand or attach it to furniture. No wires, sockets or holes, convenient as it should be in a smart home. Let's move on to the button itself. I have one with 2 keys, there are ones with 1, 2, 3 and 4. The size of the button itself will not change, but the size of the keys will. The button itself is the size of a regular switch, 86 by 86 mm, but the thickness is only about 10 mm. And if you put the button to the surface, you will not immediately guess that it is overhead and does not have any back part. There are small slots under the keys, there are LEDs indicating the press. The keys are pressed easily, but with a small click, which gives a kind of feedback, the button is pressed. The buttons are spring-loaded. On the back part there are 2 places where we stick the double-sided tape from the kit. But there are also 2 holes for attaching the button, for example, using small screws. In the upper part, do not forget to pull out the transport element, which will not allow the battery to be activated. Unfasten the back part. Here we see that the main place is occupied by the board itself, judging by the markings, made back in 21. The battery is already installed in the upper part. And in the lower part there are 2 buttons and LEDs indicating operation under them. Let's see what this button can do in the Tuya Smart Home ecosystem. First, put the device into pairing mode. To do this, hold the first key until the LED under it starts blinking. This is a signal that the button is ready to connect. Now open the Tuya Smart or Smart Life application. Since this is a Zigbee device, go to our Zigbee gateway, click Add Subdevice and wait. After a few seconds, the button will be detected and automatically added to the system. Then you can set up scenarios, bind actions to each type of pressing and include it in full automation. After adding to the Zigbee gateway, the device appears as switch of scene, and then we can proceed to setting up each of the buttons. The interface is divided into tabs, switch 1 and switch 2, each of which supports 3 types of clicks: single click, double click, long press, hold. When you select the desired action, a list opens in which we can choose what will happen when you click. For example, for a single click of switch 1, I select the gate opening scene. I have it created a long time ago and it works in automation. For a double click of the same button, for example, opening the wicket. This automation was also created a long time ago. But I want to control the light. For this, I have a 2-key switch in the bedroom. Therefore, I turn off the assigned scenes. And I will create a new one for button 1 and button 2. Logic is created through the add intelligence item, then create scene, where you can assign actions not only with specific devices, but also with pre-created scenes, non-device actions, such as automation for curtains, starting ventilation, complex lighting. Now we select the switch. Next in the list, I select switch 1, this is the first line, and then reverse switch in it. That is, if the light was turned on via the app or the button on the switch, this button will change the state to the opposite. You can say like a pass-through switch. It was on, then off, and vice versa. I do the same for the second button, select the switch in the bedroom, select the second line and also select the reverse switch action. At the last stage, we simply save the automation and can immediately check the operation. As you can see, a single press is busy for me. Let's add opening the gate and wicket and street lighting. That is, for one button action, you can set the triggering of many smart devices in your smart home. Well, why not? You can do 6 different tasks, but the main thing is not to forget what and in what order it goes. In the global settings, we can share the device with other family members, enable notification if the device is offline. At the time of writing, there were no updates. Version 104. As for automation, the possibilities here are really wide. Our scenario switch can not only launch ready-made scenes, but also act as an if trigger in a variety of automations. Go to the automation editor and select our device. We immediately see that each button has 3 types of action. Single click. Double click. Long press. And if you have a model with 4 keys, imagine, these are already 12 different conditions for scenarios. In addition, a separate trigger is available for battery status, which is convenient for monitoring the charge. You can set up a notification if the charge drops to a critical level. Now let's check how this button works in the Home Assistant ecosystem. Go to our Home Assistant server and go to the Devices and Services section. Next, we find the Tuya integration. This can be either the standard Tuya Cloud or local Tuya, if you are already using a local connection. In my case, the connection is via the Tuya Cloud integration. Click Restart. This is necessary for Home Assistant to update the list of devices. After a few seconds, our button appears in the list. It is displayed as a scenario switch called Switch of Scene, unsupported. Unfortunately, no entities are created, and in the controls block we see the inscription, this device has no entities. This means that the button in this form cannot be used directly in automations, since Home Assistant does not receive events from clicks. There is also nothing in the automations and scripts section, logically, because the device does not transmit any events yet, and Home Assistant cannot track its actions. This is a typical situation for some Zigbee scenario buttons in the Tuya integration. They are displayed in the system, but are not functional. For full support, it is better to use Zigbee 2 MQTT, which we will talk about in the next section. Now let's try to connect this scenario switch directly to Home Assistant via Zigbee 2 MQTT. First, put the button into pairing mode. As before, hold the right button until the LED starts blinking. Then go to the Zigbee 2 MQTT interface and start searching for new devices. Literally in a couple of seconds, the device is pulled up without any problems. After connecting, the button is defined as Zigbee model TS0042. Manufacturer, Tuya. Original device name, _TZ3000_TSBIMP. Device type, wireless switch with 2 buttons. Support, supported officially supported by Zigbee 2 MQTT. In the Exposes tab, we see 3 main parameters: battery, charge level, action, a field for displaying click events, link quality, Zigbee signal quality. At the moment, the values are displayed as NA, but in actual use, for example, when you press the button, events like a single press of the first button will begin to be recorded. 1 double, 1 hold. And the same for button number 2 single, 2 double, 2 hold. In the State tab, we can observe how the device transmits events in real time. For example, when you press the first button once, the following information appears. Action, 1 single, this is an event that can be used in automations. Battery, 100%. Link quality, 182, excellent Zigbee signal quality. The main advantage of Zigbee 2 MQTT is that the device works stably, events are transmitted correctly, and you can use each of the 6 presses in any Home Assistant automations, be it turning on the light, controlling the gate, scenes, or even notifications. How does it work in practice? Very simple and convenient. Let's start with a basic example. I have 2 regular lamps, but they are connected via a smart Zigbee switch, a review of which is already on my channel. I simply linked each button to light control. A single press turns the lamp on or off, and the button itself can be placed anywhere, even on the nightstand next to the bed. No wires, everything is over the air. Now a more interesting application, sliding gates and a wicket. The gate has a Zigbee controller, and the wicket has a relay with dry contacts. I also had reviews of these devices. I press the first button twice. The gate starts to open. I press it twice more. It stops. And I press it twice again, it closes. I want to open the wicket, double-click on the second button. And I assigned the second button to turn on the street lighting in the yard. And that's not all, there are 3 more actions available, a long press on each key, and, for example, a double-click on the second one. This means that you can control at least 6 scenarios with just 2 buttons. Simple, accessible and really practical for everyday use. Conclusions. This compact Zigbee button from Tuya is a great example of how a simple and inexpensive device can greatly simplify smart home control. It easily connects to Tuya Smart, works with Home Assistant via Zigbee 2 MQTT, does not require wires and can be mounted anywhere, even on a wall or a bedside table. Even the 2-button version provides 6 scenarios, single, double press and hold on each key. And if you take the version with 4 keys, you get 12 actions that can be used to control lighting, gates, wickets, sockets, curtains and any other devices. The button can be an automation trigger, a scene element or a full replacement for a wired switch. It works stably, responds quickly. This is an ideal solution if you want to avoid drilling walls, get rid of a bunch of wires, add universal control for the whole family and get maximum flexibility in automation. Personally, I consider this button to be one of the most versatile and useful Zigbee buttons in the Tuya ecosystem. Install, configure, and forget. Just use. All links to products are in the description under this video. There you will also find a link to my Telegram channel, where I regularly publish new products from the world of smart home, share coupons, discounts, talk about automation and answer questions. A link to the smart home forum, where everything is clearly structured into sections. Finding the information you need is now easier than ever. If this video was useful, don't forget to like it. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest reviews, guides and practical tips on smart, and not so smart, home systems. Good luck to everyone, peaceful skies, and may your home always be comfortable, smart and without unnecessary wires. Bye bye.